In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on April 20th, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Brooklyn Nets versus Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics play host to the Brooklyn Nets in Game 2 of their Eastern Conference opening round series on Wednesday night from TD Garden. The Celtics won in an epic battle on Sunday, coming away with the 115-114 win on the back of a buzzer beater. During the regular season, Boston won 3 of 4 matchups and has won 4 in a row against the Nets overall as they meet in a crucial meeting. This series could certainly go either way, and after the Game 1 theatrics, Game 2 is one that all basketball fans will be tuning in for. If you can take anything from Game 1, it is that these two teams are evenly matched, and a lot of these games will come down to the final possession. In Game 1, Durant did not have his best game as he only shot 37.5% from the field. It is likely Durant will be better, while Tatum shot 50% from the field, which isn't feasible to keep up. As I said in my Game 1 video, this series will be tight throughout, and I'm likely going to lean toward the points where I can get them. The Nets probably should have won that first contest as an underdog, but still covered, so I'm not complaining. The Celtics are the more balanced team, but the Nets have played their best ball on the road this year, where they win by an average of 3 points and shoot 48.5% from the field. The Nets also nearly stole the opening contest, despite Kevin Durant not playing to his full ability. Brooklyn can play a lot better defense than what they did, while they should get more from Durant, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond, with some extra time off as well. The Nets should handle the pressure defense from the Celtics better. There's just too much value on the dogs when every game feels like it could finish like Game 1. So the Brooklyn Nets to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Brooklyn plays at a pace of 101.6, which ranks 10th, while the Celtics play at a pace of 99, which ranks 24th. But this season, Boston was 42-40-1 in hitting the over, while the Nets are 41-42-1. In Game 1, they combined for 229 points, and that is with Durant struggling to make shots, as well as Curry and Drummond not chipping in as many thought. In the 4 games they played this regular season, they went over twice, with one game being 227 points on the dot. Yet Brooklyn now has Durant and Irving available. For Brooklyn alone, it has 2 of the best pure scorers in the NBA over the last decade, which in itself should be enough to see them raise the limits, as long as the supporting cast provides some production. For Boston, their starters didn't have any issues finding success, and with Tatum and Brown leading the way on the wings, the Celtics won't struggle to score, especially being at home. Additionally, for the Nets, the over is 5-0 in their last 5 games against a team with a winning straight-up record. For the Celtics, the over is 5-0 in their last 5 playoff games as a favorite, and 5-0 in their last 5 games against a team with a winning straight-up record. The first game of the series saw the offenses take center stage, and that's likely to be the case again in Game 2. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Philadelphia 76ers versus Toronto Raptors. Playoff basketball continues on Wednesday night when the Toronto Raptors host the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 3 of their first-round Eastern Conference series. After covering the spread with 2 double-digit home victories, the 76ers have a 2-0 lead. After a slow opening to the series, Joel Embiid woke up in Game 2 and carried the 76ers to a 112-97 win with 31 points and 11 rebounds. Philadelphia now leads 2-0 in the series, despite James Harden averaging just 18 points per game. Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey are a big reason why the Sixers are playing so well, and they've both scored 20-plus points in their home games. Now the tough stretch begins, with Philadelphia going to Toronto. Matisse Thybulle is ineligible to play, and the Raptors beat them there less than 2 weeks ago. It's basically a must-win situation for Toronto if they plan on advancing from this series. There was a lot of improvement in Game 2 compared to the opener, but without Scotty Barnes and with Gary Trent Jr. struggling with an illness, the 76ers were just too much to overcome. Nick Nurse also had a lot to say about the officiating in Game 2, and he will probably get fined for that. But if you are a coach, you'll do anything to fire up your team. The Raptors are now counting on the energy of the home crowd to carry them, and they were a solid 24-17 straight up at the Scotiabank Arena. The Raptors have won 17 of the team's last 20 meetings in Toronto, and that's a pretty solid record going into Game 3. They beat Philadelphia at home about 2 weeks ago, 119-114. And if this series has any chance of going to 6 or 7 games, the Raptors simply have to win on Wednesday. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, even if they haven't played all that well in the first 2 games. The Raptors do not have much time to lick their wounds, but I expect head coach Nick Nurse and his staff to make the adjustments. So the Toronto Raptors to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The last 2 meetings between the teams in Toronto had 233 and 223 points, and Toronto may well up the pace in Game 3, similarly to what they did in the regular season game played on April 7th. Not having Matisse Thybulle hurts the 76ers in so many ways. He is the only athletic defender they can use to slow down Pascal Siakam. He had 37 points in the game 2 weeks ago, so don't be surprised if he goes 30-plus points on Wednesday. The total has gone over in 4 of the team's last 6 meetings, and the last 10 have averaged 217 points. With no Scotty Barnes, the 76ers have had no issues scoring through the first 2 games. In their last 5 games overall, the 76ers are averaging 122 points on 52.2% shooting from the field and 42% shooting from deep. The Raptors are allowing 50.3% shooting from the field and 43.5% shooting from deep in their last 5 games. Even with the Raptors struggling, the 76ers should be able to push us over half this total, making the over a solid play, with the Sixers going over in 5 of their last 6 overall and Toronto finishing the regular season with a 24-17 record on the over-under in home games. The smart bet for this game is obvious. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Bulls versus Milwaukee Bucks. The Chicago Bulls continue in their efforts to knock off the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks in Game 2 of their NBA playoff series on Wednesday. They came up short in a series opener that ended up being a defensive battle of attrition. The Bucks failed to cover as 10.5 points favorites at home in a 93-86 victory over the visiting Bulls. We'll see if Chicago can return the favor and avoid going 0-2 in the first 2 games of the series. The Bulls are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 7-16 against the spread in their last 23 games overall. The Bucks are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 home games and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. The over is 5-2 in Bulls' last 7 overall. The over is 6-1 in Bucks' last 7 overall. The Bulls are 8-3 against the spread in the last 11 meetings in Milwaukee and 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 meetings. The Chicago Bulls had their chances to steal Game 1, but they couldn't make shots. Unfortunately, as the severely lesser team, games like that usually come back to bite you. The Milwaukee Bucks won't shoot nearly as poorly as they did in the first contest, and the Bulls don't have enough horses to counter. We've also seen the Bulls get waxed time and time again this season against the better teams in the league. The Bulls are losing their last 5 games by an average of 13 points. Milwaukee has covered the number in 5 of the last 7 meetings with Chicago. The Bulls struggled down the stretch, as Chicago failed to cover the number in 16 of its last 23. In Sunday's series opener, Chicago shot only 32.3% overall, and the Bulls were held to 18.9% shooting from 3-point territory. Milwaukee has covered the nut in 4 of the last 5 when the favorite and in 10 of the last 14 during the conference quarterfinals. I'm hoping for a series, but I just simply can't grab the points on the Bulls with confidence. So the Milwaukee Bucks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The posted total for Game 1 was 230 points and the game ended up with 179. With the under covering by as many as 51 points. However, this seems to be an outlier given the trends of both teams. The Bucks ended the season ranked 3rd in both points per game and offensive rating, so they should put up more points than they did in Game 1, when Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday struggled to find their shooting touch. On the other hand, Milwaukee's average defense provides the Bulls with an opportunity to light up the scoreboard as well, especially considering Chicago's leading scorer DeMar DeRozan had one of his worst performances in recent memory in Game 1. The Bucks scored 118-plus points in 3 of their 4 regular season meetings with the Bulls. It was obviously a sloppy night of basketball in Game 1 with both teams shooting at no more than 40.5%. You can rest assured Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks will have a strong offensive response on Wednesday, and that energy will be met in kind by a Bulls team with two elite scorers on the floor in DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. The Bucks have been generous in the point allowance department this season, and those issues will show up against the desperate Bulls. After shaking off the nerves in Game 1, expect both sides to come out firing in Game 2 and for it to be much higher scoring. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.